Hey guys, just a quick intro to the video. It's been a while. So this was pre-recorded a while ago from before the absence, so that's why it doesn't address it. So that's why I'm doing this little intro here. I'm sorry. Just genuinely, I'm sorry. It's been a while, and I've had these breaks before, but this was like before. In the instance of family coming over, lots and lots of family coming over, not having any time to record, not having any time to edit, because either I had no privacy, so I couldn't do videos, or the other issue was they were constantly asking me to do things, and I don't get to see them very often, so I had to. And so that took away from my editing time. But that's still inexcusable because I should have found the time, so I apologize. But thank you guys for tuning in. And right after this will be the video, which by the way is doing very well, so thanks for that. And spoiler, I'm back. Here we go. The Colts are heavily the favorites. It's their home field advantage. It is their everything. The Colts have a better passing game. They have a better run defense. They have a better pass defense. Really, the only advantage Seattle has is their running game. And the Colts win, no surprise. Seattle, you made the playoffs. That's all you can ask for. We've shown progress. The offense looked great. The defense, not so much. But for other teams that moved on, the Broncos move on. Not surprising. The Rams move on against 49ers. That's cool. And the Giants beat the Lions. Nothing crazy there either. Although, I would have thought the Lions would have won. But again, close games. Oilers beat the Broncos. No surprise there. Chargers beat the Colts. Bit of a surprise, but Chargers were good. The Buccaneers beat the Rams. No surprise there at all. The Cowboys, the 14-2 Cowboys, lose to the Giants 31-21. That's the upset of the playoffs. Not even of that round, but of the entire playoffs. For the conference, the Oilers win in a close one, thanks in part to Chris Chandler and Gary Brown. They were a great duo for this. And then the Buccaneers win 24-10, thanks in part to Ron Reddycliffe, as well as Jerry Ellison, Lawrence Dawsey, Alvin Harper, Mark Wheeler, the entire team, and the entire defense, because Steve Rowland got shut down. Absolutely. And it's the Oilers versus the Buccaneers. By the way, I don't think the Oilers are going to relocate, especially now that they've made it to the Super Bowl. But the Buccaneers versus the Oilers, and the winner is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers win the Super Bowl 23-14. Your Super Bowl MVP is Jerry Ellison, who had 166 yards. He had himself a game. Chris Chandler chokes and loses the Oilers their chance at a Super Bowl. Now it's contract time. $1.3 million needs to be saved up. Ronnie Harris, who had himself a season, will be signed for a 3-year deal. Jeff Blackshear will be given a 2-year deal to see where he can go from here. Rick Meyer will not be re-signed. Steve Smith, the running back, will not be re-signed. Rob Thomas will be given a 1-year deal. Trey Junkin will not be re-signed. Carlton Gray, showing a lot of promise this year, will be signed to a 6-year deal. Thomas Smith, the corner, who is heavily fallen off, will be offered a 1-year deal. Prove it. Antonio Edwards will be given a 1-year prove it deal. Michael McCrary will be offered a 3-year deal. Kind of trying to figure out what to do with him. He's a great pass rusher, but he does absolutely nothing else well. Dean Wells offered a 1-year prove it deal. Selwyn Jones offered a 1-year prove-it deal. Eugene Robinson offered a 2-year, we want you to retire with us deal, but can't because the salary cap. Rick Tutton will have to go as well. And we're going to have to take a moment to actually trade a player. The question is, who is going to be traded? Michael McCrary could be one. I think if you look at salaries, the kicker Todd Peterson easily will have to be the guy to go, if anyone, because the kicker is making more than anyone else on the team pretty much, which is, by the way, absurd. Alright, can we at least get cash? I don't care how much, just something, please. We need to get this guy off our league. I don't know who signed him to a 7-year deal for so much money. Okay, prospects. Nothing. Any players. We'll take anything at this point. Alright, so it sounds like Peterson's going to have to be cut. Release. Yes. So, the number 1 pick is Grady Jackson. A phenomenal run stopper. Then you got Jason Ferguson. Another run stopper. Trevor Price. A phenomenal 3-4 end pass rusher. Then you have Rondé Barber. First player to have a picture in this draft so far. Who is the do-it-all safety. He is... Well, technically he's a corner to start off, but he was one of the best zone corners. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in real life. He's drafted to the Raiders, which is ironic because, you know, their little history. But 93 pass coverage, 92 turnover, 106 tackling, 84 run defense, 71 pass rush. The dude's a monster. Then you have Jason Taylor, who doesn't have a photo for some reason. One of the greatest pass rushers of all time. 91 pass rush as a rookie, 88 turnover, 113 tackling. Then you have Darren Sharper, one of the greatest safeties of all time, going to the Patriots because, dear Lord have mercy. Jerry Reese, Brian Robinson, a great run-stuffing D-tackle, goes to the Bills. Sean Springs, always will love him with his time in Seattle. Ball-hawking, or corner rather. Ball-hawking corner who can run stuff with the best of them. Then you have Pat Williams, a part of the Williams duo in Minnesota. Dude's the run stuffer while Kevin was the pass rusher. But the Eagles get themselves a great run stuffer. And then future head coach of a team, Mike Vrabel, becomes a linebacker for the Steelers. Then you have James Ferrier going to Minnesota. An absolute run stuffer of a linebacker as well. Then you have Trent Green, a franchise quarterback, going to the Panthers. And the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. And they're looking for some stars. And there's Mike Jenkins. There's Joe Rowe, Chad Scott, Sam Madison, Chris Canty at D-tackle, Kennard Lang, Dexter McLean, Derek Mason. There's a lot of guys, but I think it's obvious who we're going to take. Mike Adams. Ooh. Tiki Barber. Always a fun one. Especially since his brother was already drafted. Orlando Pace. Walter Jones. Some franchise tackles in this draft class. But if you couldn't guess, we're going Mike Jenkins. 6'4", 200-pound corner with almost 100 pass coverage as a rookie. 90 overall, 97 peak, 6'4", 23 years old. The dude's a franchise guy, and welcome to the team. To finish off the round, Kennard Lang, Chris Canty goes to the Colts. Sam Madison goes to the Chargers. Dexter McLean goes to the Oilers. Steve Matthews goes to the Buccaneers. Interesting how the Super Bowl winning team does that. But anyways, Derek Mason goes to Green Bay. Oh look, the Packers drafting a receiver. And then Mike Minter to the Jets. Still a lot of franchise players here. Question is, which one does Seattle want to complete? There's safeties, there's kickers, Orlando Pace, Walter Jones, Kevin Mathis. And we're back, and Seattle has made their pick. And it's not too surprising, but it has a little bit of surprise. They will be drafting another massive corner to pair up with Mike Jenkins and Mike Brocker. 6'2" and 6'4", and both are stars. They really need to shore up their corner position. This is a great way to do that. Another thing they need to work on is special teams as well as pass rush. They absolutely need a pass rusher, and so far there really hasn't been any. At least that they can get. So it's a question of what will they do to fix it. Also, there's a certain player that has already gotten his name selected, and that is Tony Gonzalez. Welcome to the Seahawks, Tony G. The Seahawks are on the clock again, and I think the answer is Ryan Longwell. Welcome to the Seahawks, Ryan Longwell. Now on the clock yet again. The question is, who do the Seahawks go for now? And it's tough. It genuinely is, because the player they need is not available. Chris Carter would be fun because of his athleticism. But there's one thing lacking that the Seahawks would absolutely love to have. And you know what that is? A pass rusher. There has not been a pass rusher available for them. They need to find that pass rusher, and he just isn't there. So the question is, what will they do with no pass rusher? And I think the answer is they go Toby Gowen, the punter, because it just shores up their special teams. The Seahawks are on the clock again, and they will go with Antonio Anderson. An interesting pick. Actually, no, decline. They will go with Frank Middleton, guard, with the hope that he can fill in for one of those guard positions that are very mediocre, but decent. Now on the clock again is the Seattle Seahawks. And the real question is, what do they do? They could go with all these different players, but they need a pass rusher. They could go with Kerry Jenkins as well. Or a Jamie Nails, who's 22. Or even going with a John Williams to be a slot corner for them. Stalin Colinet could be an interesting one. In fact, sounds like that's who they're going for, because they want someone who they can hopefully develop into a star pass rusher. I don't know if that's him, but it's definitely worth the risk. John Free's still going to be the quarterback for this team, probably until a franchise player comes in. Lamar Smith will do his thing. Eric Dugan will be benched for Tony Gonzalez. No question about it. T.O. is going to do his thing. Joey Galloway is going to do his thing. At third receiver, it sounds like James McKnight or Ricky Prohl will be going there. At tackle, Jonathan Ogden. At guard, Jeff Blackshear. With the hope that Fick or Middleton can rotate in it one day. Also, Kevin Mulway at center, Ray Roberts at guard, and John Runyon at tackle. On defense, we have Henry McMillian, a run defender through and through. We have Tom Brandt, a run defender through and through. We have Chad Eaton, a run stuffer through and through. And then Michael McCrary, the pass rusher, which who knows how good he'll be. It's generally a throw in the dark. Then you have Winston Moss, really the only linebacker that's a sure thing. They'll probably put Mike Barber there. But then the question becomes, who will be the other one? Jeff Gravelis, probably. Then you got Mike Jenkins pairing up with Michael Booker. Then you got Brian Dawkins and Jay Bellamy at safety. It's an okay team. And then you have... Okay. And then you have Ryan Longwell and Toby Godwin. Also... Sorry, I gotta figure out who to put. And Tony Brown will be the returner, it sounds like. And here we are, the upcoming season. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Jumbles, you've been amazing, and as always, deuces!
If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry.